Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, June 5th, 6th, and 7th. The sun is in Gemini and the moon is in Pisces. That's a 90-degree angle. And they don't get along. Gemini loves to talk, and they have this ability to embellish or to make up stories in their own mind, or they can write at the speed of light. They'll just put their fingers on the little typewriter and out comes all these words, and they're so impressed with themselves. Pisces is like, shh. Can you stop talking? And the other challenge is Pisces really likes to embellish and make up stories. So you put a Gemini and a Pisces together and their imagination starts to run and they start to talk. If a Gemini is in the mood to talk and the Pisces has to come along. Because the sun, I hate to use the word trump because it has such a harsh meaning. Let's say the sun can eclipse the moon because when the sun is a personality and the moon is the emotional nature, your inner world, sometimes the sun will eclipse or trump the moon, in which case the moon gets put into second seat and the sun takes over. So the Gemini takes over, the moon in Pisces is like, I don't really want to be here. I'm feeling emotional, but I can't find how to express it. And that's what a square is like. There's two impulses that occur, and the sun always takes over the moon, in which case there's a conflict on the inside. Now, how many of you know the feeling when there's different voices in your head that are all speaking? This is so Gemini. There's one voice telling you to be quiet, and there's one voice saying for you to talk, and there's one voice that loves to go to work, and there's one voice that doesn't want to go to work. That conflict is evident when the sun and moon are squared. So you can look at your chart and discover if your sun and moon are not in harmony. You hear me say this often. That would suggest that there's a conflict, and the way out of it, hello astrology, is to study astrology. Because as soon as you're aware your sun's in Gemini and it doesn't want to let your moon in Pisces be quiet and be alone, your awareness can say to your moon in Pisces, oh, because there's a grand trine in water, we are going to allow ourselves to be more quiet and more internal, even though we have Sun in Gemini and Mars, by the way, you know this, entered Aquarius. So we've got all this Gemini energy. The Sun and Mercury are together in Gemini. Mars is in Aquarius, lots of air, a grand trine in water saying be quiet, and the moon must be respected, even though at times it hides in the night, in the dark, in our inner world, and we're too scared to talk about our feelings. So you might want to ask yourself, is there any emotional content that would help me to be more honest? And if I was journaling, great thing for you to do, what would I want to journal about? What would I want to speak to that I've been holding back? Astrology Answers told me to tell you there's a sun-moon square, and you want to never allow the moon to be totally eclipsed by the sun unless it's an eclipse, because you always want to honor the female, the emotional body, the inner world.